Well, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day. We're in the middle of the midpoint of the week, hump day. So, folks, let's try and have a great Wednesday and be kind to everyone. The Big Marcus, thank you for the resubscribe. We appreciate that, sir. Uh, Thank you very much. Humbles me to no degree to such a degree here that it's unbelievable that so many people are following the channel and so many are subscribing as well. So again, thank you, sir, and hope y'all having a great Wednesday. Today we are where we left off with this little, I'll call it a Tonka jet. I know JD Drums will be like, "What?" But, hey, it isn't what we normally fly, but it is flyable, so they say. No, it's a beautiful Citation 2 S550 for those of you in the ICAO world. Tail, as you can see there, November 3206. And we're sitting in Roanoke, like I said, where we left it off at. And today we're going to a interesting place. A lot of people don't know of this place unless you live in the Cincinnati area and know it by its street name. We'll call it that. I guess what would we call it in the air world? Street name. I'm gonna just go with it. It's We're going to what's called Sunken Lunken. Now, many of you are asking me how in the world does this airport gets the moniker of Sunken Lunken? Well, as a kid, my grandparents lived in Cincinnati, uh, up in Mount Washington. It's a little suburb just south of not the Ohio, but anyway, just south of the airport and a little bit to the west. And we would go up there all the time. There's a beautiful park there. Later in my uh, uh, early teens to teen years, we do a little golfing there at a golf course that runs right alongside the runway 3 left, 1 right. Every spring, the Ohio River, which is what I think ran next to it, flooded, taking out the golf course. Whoopie-doo. The playground, for kids, that's not a whoopie-doo. That's a oh my. And a lot of runway 3 right, 1 left. Hence, the affectionate name for it became Sunken Lunken because half of the airport would be sunk. So also Procter & Gamble, I don't know if they still do to today, but back then when my grandfather worked for them, had aircraft there for the corporation that's based in Cincinnati. Y'all know Procter & Gamble. If you have Dawn, if you dishwashing soap, Crest toothpaste, let's see, Dial soap, Tide detergent. I'm only hitting just the pinnacle of stuff they have, folks. They have a litany of products. But anyway, that's based in Cincinnati. That's where we're headed. Sunken Lunken, let's get into the aircraft and fire up. Let's get these executives back from their Smoky Mountain rendezvous and back into the real world, so to speak, in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Okay, so we're up. We're in the cockpit. Let's turn around here. Take a look at a beautiful aircraft. I mean, it's corporate, folks. So do you expect to see vinyl seats? No, you expect to see leather, plush leather, beautiful cabins. The only thing about the Citation I personally don't like about it is that you got to stoop in it. You don't stand up. If you're paying that much money for a plane, you should be able to stand up. Learjet's even worse. So, hang on. Get the door closed up here and spin around so we can take a look at this cockpit. All right, folks, we've done several of the steps so far. We're up to the point where we're getting ready for pre-start. So let's get up here a little closer. I'm going to come down more IFR-ish, and we're going to get this bird into the air now. So let's kick the battery switch on. And then we're going to kick the AC and AC avionics on. We're going to do our rotary test. Hang on a second. And sorry, passengers.
TAWS, system test OK.
Terrain awareness test start. Terrain awareness system passed. Terrain awareness test complete.
Left engine fire. Right engine fire. Ready.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, and some of the tests on this rotary switch, folks, are just lights that come on. Okay, now we'll go down the right side. Engine fires.
Right engine fire.
Lights are on. Landing gear.
Battery overtest.
Right there. Stick shaker. Okay, so we've done our rotary test. Parking brake. All right, my checklist has froze. Stand by. Hang on a second. There we go. Oh, we're before start final checks, rotary. Parking brake, landing gear levers are good. Now, just to let you know where they are, there's your parking brake that goes in and out. Landing gear lever down, 3 green. Engine instruments, we're looking for no flags, which we do not have. Those are all right here. Electric trim, we can't check on here. Airspeed bugs. What we're going to set for is a 180 knot climb. That is pretty much a really good rate of climb in this plane. Slide over and get the other one, just so we don't get ourselves confused looking at the panel. Okay, let me just slide back over because we got switches and all still to throw. All right, fuel quantities look good. We've got 3,000 almost pounds of fuel, plenty to get us there and to our alternate of Detroit, Michigan. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and set up the FMC here. But part of me is thinking about flying this VOR to VOR, and I'll explain here in a couple of reasons why, but let's at least have our backup plan ready to go. So we'll come down here and kick up the FMC, and I'm going to first size it so it fits better on here. And I'm also going to pull up the autopilot. I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. Matter of fact, a little smaller than that. There we go. Okay. And then also want to get, not that, dang it, that out. And finally, position it almost right. Oh. Right about trying to make sure you guys can see all of this. Okay. All right, so we're going to put away a lot of this. So let's get the route going. Route menu, pilots route list, F plan. We're leaving KROA for KLUK. Flight number, November 3206. Now we're going to fly to, and here's where we're going to now to begin to use some of our like Sim Toolkit, although I want to start with the browser. Show us the route. That wasn't supposed to be what came up. Hang on. But now thinking about it, it makes perfect sense. There we go. What I wanted to show is Sky Vector. We're down here at Roanoke, and we're going direct to Beckley, to Charleston, to Fillmore, straight in. Folks, it's basically VOR to VOR to VOR, straight into Lunken. We're going to shoot the RNAV there. We're going to show you why here in a second. So that's what our route's looking like. Let me get up here. So let me kind of zoom us in. So coming out of Roanoke, it's pretty much, we're going to join the Victor 258. Actually, we are going to be on the 258 out of Roanoke, right up to Beckley. And we're going to pretty much fly it direct. We're not going to, do much other than just get ourselves to it. But let's get going. So hang on. Let's now switch, pull this away. All right, now that's interesting because we somehow, the reason I'm saying that I'm a little confused here is they put us on the Victor, 258 from Beckley. Okay. I got confused because I was going, why did my flight plan say something different when I loaded it into XPilot? Okay, everything makes sense now, folks. Sorry. So our first fix, which will be here, will be BKW, which is the call for Beckley. Execute. Next page. Okay, now we're going Victor 258. Put that under VIA. Close it off at HVQ. Okay. Next airway is Juliet 24. We close that off at Fillmore, which is, I think it's Fillmore. I'll have to, there I go, spelling it. FLM, isn't it? Yeah. All right, and that's it, folks. We'll hit execute. Come back to F plan. And what I'm going to do is put our departure in. Way 6. And that's it. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to go into the other stuff because weird things begin to happen with this plane. Next up in this, let's take a look at the loadout so you all know what we're taking with us here. Sim Toolkit is right there. Okay, and there you can see, now we got a center real close. Let me pull up the SimAware real close to see who's nearby. It's Atlanta Center. Well, they don't have control over us because we're going to be going north of them. That's mainly because, as you can see, they're here, our route is here. So we're in actually India, actually Dulles, or Washington control, heading into Indianapolis, I believe is how it works. So all right, so loadout wise, we're taking 5 people. We got 1,250 pounds of payload behind us. For a 0 fuel weight showing here on the screen, we've uploaded 2,881 pounds. There's no APU here, folks, so that is what we've got up on the screen, which is showing really good right here. We're almost at 3,000, so that's good. There is no cruise CI for this airplane. We'll just call it normal. This is really weird, the way they've set us up for flight levels. And I'm sure you're all scratching your head. So we can climb to 30,000 out of Roanoke, but our first fix, Beckley, we have to be at 16,000 feet. That is not, and we're not going to do that. So don't worry, folks. Take us a while to get there if we did. Man, my throat. Hang on a second. Oh, these allergies combined with a storm system moving through. Yeah, making fun for today. All right, so here we're looking at the actual flight plan. Our winds are going to be out of the south at 20. It's going to give us a little bit of a bump to get there. We're looking at about an hour and some change in getting there. Again, engines on the bird, JT-15Ds. Call signs November 3206. So if you look us up or go to the link that comes up every now and then on somewhere, it'll kind of show you where we are on the map, and then you can go back to the map and see what's all ahead of us. But I can tell you right now, it's pretty rainy. We'll get into the weather here because we'll see if it's changed at all. And fuel. And then here's our route again. Direct to Beckley, see BKW. That's where we're supposed to have been at 16,000 feet, but we got 30 out of here. Really weird. And then we're on a jetway. They start at 18,000, not 16,000. So it's really mind-boggling how SimBrief came up with this. But we'll at least do this portion of it. Our times, which we may get out of here real early, and then packs, cargo. Oh, we're actually got 100 pounds of cargo. Didn't know that. And so forth. And they don't give us state trims. They don't have any performance data in there. All right, folks, so we are here. Now, I said I'd get into the weather. Let's see if any improvements have occurred. And nope, not really. It's up 100 feet. So we're actually now legal. We were at 600 feet when I first came on with my aircraft. We're now up to 700, overcast 14, and you can read the rest. But the part I want is right there, 35. Wow, high pressure here. Is that right? 30, 35, yep. 1,000, and the way I verify is I find the, we got to go back to the airport. 1175, 1160, so we're looking good. Now, what was I doing? Yeah, I just realized you're not seeing that. Let's pull it away real quick. Okay, so I set my altimeter to 3035. Now, what I do is I look at my altitude. That should be pretty close to field elevation, which is 1175 here. We're off by 15 feet. I can live with that. So our GPS and our FMC are programmed now. And let's get flight plans filed. And wheel chocks have been removed. Seat pedals are set. We'll get the beacons on here momentarily. So let's go back to Sim Toolkit real quick. And as you can see, some of that rain I'm talking about. Anyway, the continuing here, we're on runway 6, which is 6,800 feet. I'm pretty sure this little Tonka jet can take it. That's just for you, J-Drums. Oh, heading is 57 degrees. Call it 58. So let's get that set in here real quick. Okay, and you didn't see that again. Shame on me. Okay, the last thing I want to show, and then I'll show you what I was doing here in a minute. The OnSim Toolkit. Here's Beckley, here's Charleston. So we got some rain we'll be flying over. We should be top of climb right before Beckley, so that shouldn't be a factor for us. Live map wise, we'll have to zoom it. Hang on. But as I am, anything you see in blue, those are Sim Toolkit pilots. Now, some of these Sim Toolkit pilots, including this pilot, are also on VATSIM. So you could see blue and green at about the same location. That's more than likely the same pilot, but you can see how many use Sim Toolkit. We're just zooming in. And here you go. This gives you a really good look at our route as it centers again. A lot of rain hugging it. Right now, we're out of the rain in Cincinnati. We'll see. When I first fired up, sunken Lunken at 1353 Zulu, which memory serves is about 2 hours old. Winds right down the runway, cool. Few clouds at 8,500, broken at 10,000. Everything weather-wise looks good right now. We'll see how that goes. Now, again, SimBrief, I don't understand you. And guys, those of you out there on the stream who are IFR pilots, please chime in the chat. Let me know if my thinking's wrong. Detroit, Wayne Airport, which is KDTW, where all of you fly if you fly airlines. That's the airport you usually land at. Winds are fine. 3 miles visibility. That's getting a little sketchy there. Drizzle. No problem with drizzle. Broken at 700. That does not sound like a legal alternate to me. I thought you had to be marginal to VFR. And overcast at 1400. So I'm like, this does not sound like a legal alternate. So I don't know if SimBrief just defaults to a certain airport or not. But chime in and let me know if that is technically a legal alternate with that kind of weather. Again, though, that was about 2 hours old. Well, let's see if we can pull up something new here for it. All right, with Sim Toolkit gone, what we did is we set the heading bug here to the runway heading or close to it. As you can tell, there isn't anything on here telling us. So heading is done right here. Course is on this one, and I'm going to go ahead and set it on here. Now, before we get into the only reason I haven't shut the battery right back off, folks, we're on ground power. So we can run the batteries as long as we want. So let's see here. What I want to get now are some frequencies. Roanoke to start with. 1094. Okay. And we're going to go off. We're going to go off on a 292. So we'll take off, come around, intercept 292. So I wonder if I push the sync where it goes. Oh, pretty close. Okay, so there we go with that. Okay. Our next frequency will be Beckley. So basically to fly this, we're going to intercept, let me well, you won't be able to see if I do this all that well. Hang on, let me, oh, we are in that. Okay, cool. Give me a second, folks, to, hang on, wrong map. Okay. Hopefully this chart will look respectable. Okay, I brought the sectional back up. So what we're going to be doing is taking the 292. We're going to go ahead and try and fly this Victor 258. So what we're going to look for up here is Beckley 117.7. Okay, and then from Beckley to Charleston 117.4. Go ahead and put Beckley in. Okay, so now we need to slide over here. Okay, we're going to come out of Beckley on the 324. All right, so we're going to go to 324. This one. Okay, this is for this nav display 1, nav display 2. That's what this course is for, the second one. We're going to go to 324. So what we're going to do when we take off, we're going to do our left-hand turn, heading towards an intercept or the VOR, one of the two for Roanoke, and go out on the 292. From there, we'll intercept the inbound or outbound radio 131 off of Beckley. And that will be done right here, and this is called zooms. Okay, so that's how we're going to depart. We're going to see how well we do here. Otherwise, we'll just go direct Beckley. All right, so pretty simple stuff. Okay. Get the altimeter set over here. Good. Are both? Is there both? Okay, no, there isn't. Good. Okay. So we've got our frequencies set to Fillmore, and then I'm sorry, to Charleston. We'll put in I think it's Fillmore is what it's called. Falmouth. I knew it was going to do that to me. So anyway, didn't mean to play with your eyes there like that, folks. All right, so we're back to the screen. Everything radio-wise is set. 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 121. We'll go to 122. 950 as our secondary if we need it. All right, folks, we're ready to go. So folks, buckle up. Let's fly with Mike. Beacons coming on, nav lights on. Cockpit lights, let's go ahead and get those set for this one. All right. Standby gyro on. And it is. AC power off. Now, let me get our altitude in here before I do anything. Going all the way up to 30. Or in this case, 300. All right, so 30 out. That was my bad, folks, because that's where we're at. We got to do it again. I meant to hit out select. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so now we're going to turn off the avionics. Now, why do we do this? All right, so AC power and master avionics. Okay, air conditioning is off, cabin doors closed before start checks. All right, so folks, we've been through the full startup. Here is our startup. Now, it's a little challenging. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these for now, because we need to be able to get at these and some other things as we go. So our first thing is our fuel pumps can stay in normal. They don't have to go on like in a lot of planes. So we push them down to normal. Middle's off, up is on. Ignition can just stay on. As you can see in the checklist, we're not turning them on. Of course, our full de-ice boots are all turned off at this moment, and we only have the nav and the beacon light on. And so what I'm going to do is kind of reposition in a way to kind of help explain how we start up this aircraft. And a lot of the GA aircraft are started the same way. All right. So what we'll do is we'll click the starter. Now I am going to start number 2, which is the right engine on the what would be the first officer's side. Okay, let me pull our trim to take off. There we go. Okay, so we would go there first. It went right back. See, that's what I hate about some of the flight sim stuff. That electric trim just ticks me off to no end. There we go. Now it hopefully will stay. Once we click start, let me see if I can zoom us out or get us into a better... We're going to be watching, this is right now in the way, our N2 values, which are right here. When they hit 8, I'm going to hit the detent and move the throttle up. The detent here allows you, in some aircraft it's a pull up, pull back. Some you pull a detent to pull them back to go shut them off, or pull the detent to get them started. It's a fail-safe, if you will. Don't know of a better way to explain it, and I know pilots out there may be able to do a heck of a lot better than I could. Now you have to pay attention, huh, JD Drum? You pay attention? Man, I like hearing that on here. Somebody paying attention. You know, these Tonka jets are pretty easy to start and hard to fly sometimes. All right, so we got the N1 here. So here we go. Let's hit the start. We're above 8, so I'm gonna watch to make sure both N1, which is here, N2 start climbing. Now, really, what I can do, well, no, I can't. I'm in a really horrible position. But we can actually now watch the engines come up. Our ITT, our turbine temperature, is coming back down to normal, and our N1 is now coming up. When they stabilize, we can now go for number 2. All right, so first off, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the generator for the number 2 engine. Now, what I've done is basically, in essence, turned the generator off to the plane, allowing the plane to now be under generator 2's control. Soon generator 1 and 2 will be both working. So what we can do is go outside and remove ground power. Oh, I thought I had that set. Sorry, folks. As you can see, it's disconnected. The reason number 2 gets started, generator plugs in right here. So to be nice to the ground agents, I start up 2 first, then come over to 1. Okay, we can see our engine instruments a little better. Still kind of tough to see. There we go. And I'm just moving. This is X checklist, by the way, folks. Really helpful in this plane. Okay, here we go. Starting up number 1. 8%. We can start our detent and pull the throttle up. Got a light off, and then I bring it back to idle. ITT is coming up, our turbine temperature. N1 is building. We'll see the line here at around 20%. Just giving you a view of everything else. Now we're beginning to stabilize. All of our temperatures look good in both engines. Our pressures are up and in the, right now they're in the yellow, but we're good. And we're just doing the same thing. All right, so the GPU's already been removed. Let's put the switch on for generator 1. So now the aircraft is completely, let's see what that is. Oh, we don't have the AC on. Okay, cool. Check our volts. Look good. 24, look good. Amps are both up. AC, there goes that light. GPS back, or avionics back on. Passenger signs. Set. One more time. Over to the pressurization table. Let's make sure we're set to 30,000 feet. Everything looks good. And cabin pressure set to auto. Set to auto, and our pressure source is normal. Gyro pressure is on this side. Hang on, let me... Here's our gyro pressure. It's in the green. Air conditioning fan on. Anti-skid is over here. It is now on inverters. Okay. Hang on just a second. Let me get up here so I can get the light that's going to come on. Alright, so we're going to test our inverters. And everything's good. Belts and harness, exterior lights. Before taxi check, transponder set. Alright, let's okay. Now, let's see if I can show this. I didn't do it last time, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and take the time to do it this time around. X-Pilot. Okay, now if you look up here, currently X-Pilot is showing us still in standby, yet I've just turned it on. Okay. And I'll explain the dual purpose here. Alright, but if we go to on, boom, we're in mode C. This is what I was talking about yesterday. Now the Airbus, this is all in a different location. Most every other plane that I've come across, an X-plane and X-Pilot, You have to turn the, obviously, the transponder on and come off standby. That's it. We're 2000 because we're IFR. Go ahead and go into out. And put her on traffic 2. And we'll set up for a pretty, well, for now we're in the area, we'll keep it close. Transponder set, brakes, steering, we'll check when we taxi, flight controls, let's do that right now. Okay, no locks. And what I'm doing is when I push them forward, I make sure they hit center with my stick. Same with the rudders. Barely see them under the stick there. And then also when I go left and right. Okay, they're good. Flaps, let's check their operation. We'll do that from outside. Again, you can see how they're working. There we go. Okay, now flaps. Okay. Perfect. I don't think I have a gauge that shows my flaps. Making sure. Oh, I do not. Okay. All right. Okay, autopilot. Go ahead and turn the flight director on. Okay, it's already on. Okay, de-ice. We're going to go ahead and let's see. Let's run with engines. And that should produce a, yep, there it is. Top one right here, so we'll see that all the time. Thrust reverse check. All right. To go to that one, sorry. Well, actually, I need to do that one. All right, so what we're going to do, open it up, and I'm going to go outside and look. Okay, that's a good check. And then we'll click the switch here. Make sure we go back. Same thing with number 2. Click the switch and go back. Okay. They work. Flight instruments set. Altimeter set. Radio set. Fuel quantities and balance. Good. Speed brakes. Right there and right there look good. Retract. Set 7 degrees. Forgot there's our gauge. Okay. Trims. Okay, it's set for takeoff. Takeoff data set 180. Again, remember folks, we're going to be shooting for 180. Briefing has already been complete. We're ready for our taxi checks. We'll hold for before takeoff. And here we go. Now, this line right on here, folks. Actually going to shorten that up a little. Put it right there. This is the route from Roanoke Airport out to Beckley. Helps us on takeoff to make sure we hit the right turn. Actually, we'll be coming off and turning this way to intercept. Now, normally, if I was going to fly GPS, I would set this up already for GPS. So when I click autopilot, it goes into setting up and catching the course. But I've been asked... Oh, I just hit test. Dang it. There we go. Okay, so for now, let's get rid of autopilot. I'm going to kind of resize this up a little. There we go. Not much. I'm going to be doing some resizing here in between flights today. Oh, and yes, little a side note. Yes, 2 flights today, folks. So first flight will be this one, of course, Roanoke to Lunken, sunken Lunken. Next flight after this one will be up in Alaska. So hope y'all are enjoying the flight. Before I get moving, I always love to check to see who's out here checking us out. X Highlane, welcome aboard. Lyndon, thank you for flying with us. And FTO Payer again. Big Marcus, I knew you're out there. Thanks again for the resubscribe. We sure appreciate that, sir. Much obliged, and you don't know how much it humbles me. So thank you again. And folks, any of you that follow or subscribe or tip or cheer, anything like that. Hey, I even take cheers in the background going, yeah, go Mike, go Mike. I'll take those even, folks. It humbles me to no end. So y'all sit back, relax. We're going to head out to runway 6. Speaking of which, let's take a quick look at what our taxi route's going to be. Here's our route, obviously. Okay, here's Roanoke, here's sunken Lunken. And that's our RNAV, by the way. We'll get into that later. But first, here's where we're located on the airfield. So let's zoom in. So obviously it's a pretty simple taxi. We're going to come out, grab taxiway Charlie. Is that Charlie? Yeah, or Alpha, one of the two. Whatever the signs, it'll be Charlie because there's Alpha. Taxi out to Echo and cross 16 and 34 over to Echo and do our takeoff on runway 6. Again, it's 6,800 feet. And according to this, a slight 1 foot downhill roll. So that'll help us a little too on the takeoff. All right, so pull that away. And just so you all have it in your... I did it again. Okay. So you can see it. I know it's easier to visualize before takeoff. Basically come off the runway, we'll head over, probably, maybe even direct to the Roanoke VOR and then on course. We'll see. And Bloodluster, welcome aboard. We're just getting ready to taxi. Hope y'all are having a great Monday. Do not want to repeat Monday. Great Wednesday. We're at the middle of the week, folks. The only thing staring us down now is the weekend. All right, so here we go. Parking brake off. Give her a little power. All right, folks. Flying with Mike is underway. Nice little King Air. We may be doing some of that here again up in Alaska. See if we can catch some engines on fire again. I'll have to update it to the latest version. Also, in the hangar of Flying with Mike again is the updated 747 from Sparks 43. It's a free 747-400. Very PMD-ish-esque, however you want to say it, in operation. So if you know how to fly that, folks, this one's not far off, although there are some quirks that you have to get around, as with every aircraft. But it's really a good, solid aircraft. They've done a phenomenal job, that team over at Sparks 43, giving us a nice free 747. Out we go, like I said, on to Charlie here. Back in the cockpit so I can turn on the recognition light. Okay. Now while we're taxiing, we're going to go ahead and go through some of these. So let's get a little further down. Oh, actually this will work. Ignitions, now we're going to turn them to on per checklist. De-ice is on. Pitot-static on. Okay, let's go ahead and make our turn here. Okay, and I'm going to double check that nobody's picked up on us. Nope, not yet. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cross 3416. I'm the only one in the pattern here. There was one that took off for, was it Kansas? No, Springfield, Missouri. So, I think he was in a Challenger, CL30. So, good luck on that flight. I don't see him on Sim. No, I don't see him anywhere. So either he changed course on us, went somewhere else, or he was finished. Maybe he came in and I misread the strip. So, all right. So we're just easing on down the road. Okay. And again, it's X checklist and taxi. You don't know these. And yes, folks, I'm watching the plane drift off the taxiway. Okay, now we're caught up. Okay, we'll set the exterior lights. Transponder is going to go set. Engine instruments will be checked. Okay. Lights are on. And according to a couple of corporate pilots, they don't like the wait. I understand their people are antsy in the back, but they're going to wait a few seconds here. I want to make sure everything's checked, departure bugs and all set, and we're going. They ain't going to wait long, that's for sure. Okay, annunciator panel is good. Okay, and we'll be lining up on 6, but we're going to be turning left to intercept 292. Probably, let's see, where's my airport map here? We'll probably turn to a heading of 240. Okay, there's our brief, folks. Before takeoff checks are good. There's after takeoff. Okay, here we go. Roanoke traffic, November 3206, departing runway 6. Okay, parking brakes off. One last look at the plane. Sorry folks, not good enough to fly it this way on takeoff, as some streamers are. Tail strikes always happen with me. Okay, and again, the yellow lights on the panel here, they are our engine anti-ice, which I'm going to run, even though I know y'all heard it and y'all have seen it in the METAR. It's not below freezing here. Why is that on? Well, I have it on because we're going to be in the clouds real quick. Okay. And clouds are now overcast 2600, 1500, 22. So I'm not taking any chances. Landing lights on. Let's get the beacon back on. For some stupid reason it loves to turn off. And just in case if I'm not. Okay, we're set for alternate. Here we go. Rolling. Let's go for full power. Get the ITT right up to the yellow. 80 knots. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Okay, and we're going to trim down just a smidge. Yes, folks, she is climbing out like a banshee. Okay, so let me get my stuff turned on over here so we're ready. Okay. Let's bring our flaps up. All right, after takeoff checklist, landing gear and lights can go off. Flaps are up. Of course, it's gonna make me... Okay, engine sync. Right here, we'll turn on. Ignitions can go back to normal. Climb power being set, and we're in our turn. Again, like I said, I'm going to go for a turn of 240, and I'm going to nose over just a smidge. Keep that turned, not so much, but keep it coming. Easier to read this way. 240. coming around. We can come out of it. Alright, let's get our heading around. And now we're going to turn out to 292.
Bank angle. Bank
A
angle.
little too hard. Sorry about that, folks in the back. Thought we were a fighter. All right. Okay, and we're going to kind of ease on up now, folks, till our airspeed gets to 180. Then it'll kick up more anti-ice, set any skids off. Pressurization we're going to check. Hard to see, so we'll kind of come up. Everything looks like we're fine. All right, and okay, get back down here real quick because we just blew through. So we're gonna turn. And now we're matched at 180. Transition. I'm gonna try something here. I think I learned this on the last flight. Okay, now we're set for Beckley. We're set for Roanoke. We're intercepting the outbound radial. I hope I'm doing this right. Here comes the needle. When it gets centered, we'll come back to 292. Okay, we're through 16,000. Flaps are up. Okay, there's where we should start our turn back. Get in here. Problem is we're still within 10. I think it's within 10. Yeah. So it's going to be very sensitive right now, folks. Okay, there's 18,000. Oh, I see what that did. Okay. I learned something, but not what I was hoping to learn. Okay, 2992. I was thinking by pushing this in, I would go to standard like in the aircraft out there, but nope, I was wrong. That's what the learning was for here. Recognition's off and oxygen's checked and into green. Pressurization again checked. Air conditioning, fans on, transition check complete. We'll be waiting for the descent. Okay. So there you go, folks. We are on our way. Okay, time to correct again. All right. I'll look at my map here real quick. Says the 292. We should get the 131 set up over here. I hate that. Okay, so the 131. Okay. Oh, I think I'm not on course. Oh, wait a minute. Are they both moving? Oh, this sucks. Okay, we got another way to do this, folks. No biggie. Which one of you is on nav? And now we're 23 out. And does this say how far? Oh, I know which one does. Hang on. 26. Oh, geez. I just realized something. I was on the wrong VOR. We're 33 miles out. Yep, that was totally on me. I just realized what I did. Screwed that up big time. Well, again, that's why this red line's here. That's why I'm like, why am I not tracking closer to it? Okay, so we're now tracking let's see if we can do this. Back out just a smidge, come up. What I'm just going to need to be able to see is the other dial over here. This will take forever, so let's get her on a westerly turn. Bank limit on. That way the people in the back. Here is Beckley, by the way. 26 miles out. For some reason, folks, I was set up on the 131 off of Beckley, and we were way off it. So that's why it's always good if you have the ability to have the backup with GPS. Okay, the two lights lit up here. Engine anti-ice. Oh, why isn't? Oh, that's right. It's turned off. Never mind. I'm like, why isn't the other one on? And anti-skid is now off. All perfectly well. We're 2,000 from level off. We are on our way, folks. Hope y'all are enjoying the flight. Learning day for me, too, as we're going to try this VOR. One of these days, I'm going to try the Alaska flights, flying it the old VFR pilotage way. And believe it or not, most of the routes we've been flying up there, it can be done. I'm gonna half tempted to just turn the GPS on and let it fly. But promised someone I would try this and see if I can do it. So, JD Drums, I hope you're watching and learning. Hey, there's the horn. We're 1,000 away. Even though I know you're at work, you can always watch the stream afterwards. Okay. Beginning to ease in. What it's been trying to do, by the way, in this climb, you may have seen the needle going up to 2,000, down to 500, up and down, up and down. It's trying to maintain 180 knots. And when it gets too low, the nose comes down. When it gets too high, the nose goes up. So it's a balancing act to keep her at 180. And then it should level off. And we should be about to the point where we can turn for it. We're also going to be so close, it's going to be so hard to get a good center. So I am going to kind of hand fly it. We're going to look ahead here in just a second. I want to get us on course, and then we'll look ahead. Here we go. Okay, let's see if we can get her. Come on, girl. Come on down. Okay, we're just going to start easing our way over. Okay, and I'm just trying to get this thing to quit bucking like it is. Okay, what I'm going to do is just do it the easy way. Trim is what's killing us. You see how it's auto trimming and I don't have anything turned on. Okay, we need to make the turn for we're gonna have to lately fly it by our own. X-plane can sometimes be this kind of a beast in trying to get her to trim and hold. That's the part I don't like about it. Altitude. Okay. All right. Nerve-wracking is all get out. Out of here, we want the 324. Or inbound would be 141. I'm gonna go with the 324 just because it's so much easier to. Oh, come on, plane. Okay. Alright folks, sorry for the quietness. This plane, it wants to not play nice. I really would love to fly with someone that could help me learn why I can't trim up this daggum plane here. Okay, so now we're set. to basically track inbound on the 324, direct HVQ 22 miles away. We're going to go ahead and set up our next VOR. I was hoping it'll be tracking 318 second. Go. Okay, we're now 18 miles out, and I want to get my heading synced. Okay, because what I'm going to do at 10 miles is set us up. Now, off of here, Fillmore, or Falmouth, is 17.0. Okay. Okay, now that green one is showing us the direction to Falmouth. The line here is showing us to HVQ, which is right here on the screen and over here on the screen. Okay, and now what we're going to be doing here, we're going to track 282, which literally we are almost on, if not on it. So we're going to come over the VOR and then turn to 282. Now we're tracking, just so you know, we're not on the GPS. If I was on the GPS, I'd have gone down here, set the nav source to GPS. We're on VOR 1. Ah, that's why it's doing... Okay, things are making sense now. Then when we get up here in about 3 miles from there, we'll make our turn ever so gently, 282. Let's go ahead and set that. It'll be about right there. We'll see if it lines up pretty close. Now, if we were doing this right, we would run a heading. It's only 121 miles. Now, the thing I don't know about Falmouth, if it's a 60-mile VOR, which I don't think it is, or if it's the normal 180. And I know there's a different name for them. I just don't know them off the top of my head. All right, folks, so currently we are standing at 23 minutes. 30,000 feet. We're going to plan our descent probably at Falmouth. We'll start coming down on the RNAV. We'll plug it in so we can fly it. I don't want to fly that by hand. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and punch it in. Actually, look at that. It's pretty close, folks. Look at that, how close that is. Okay, there's the VOR. So we're going to switch to heading, start the turn, start dialing our needle to 282. And what's going to happen here is we're going to probably overshoot, but we'll be able to counter it and get back on course really quick because I've got it on low bank. Go ahead and turn that off. It's going to put us close to 30 in our bank angle. I'm going to plan it a little better next time. Again, that was for comfort. Now we're doing it to get back on course. We'll go west. About 10 degrees overshoot. Let's get about 10 miles past the VOR, and then we'll set up the back on nav. And then well, while it's catching up, I'm going to go ahead and get this done. We're not worried about this. What we're going to shoot is the RNAV 3 right from Fillmore. Execute legs. Next page, right into it. Okay, cool. And we'll pull it up here and take a look momentarily. Okay. All right, we're gonna see how it's coming back, folks. When you're within 10 miles of a VOR, and it depends on your altitude. Remember, it's line of sight. But roughly within 10 miles, your gauge can be a little deceiving. So at about 5 DME, now the DME is dead on, but at 5 DME, you can then usually start your turn depending how gentle you're doing it. In this case, too gentle. So next time, I'll put her back on low bank, and well, we'll keep it as is. Let's see here, heading, always like to keep it synced. There you go, folks, we're on course. 282. And coming out of Fillmore will be the 102. Which should shake out just like it should here. We'll watch it and make sure this line does not get really out of whack. There we go. And I've now made it red. Okay, so let's, while we're en route, we only got what is it, 121 miles. So let's do a quick look at this arrival. Charts. Okay, we'll get rid of Roanoke here. Actually, let's do that. Edit. Delete. Check mark. Okay, so now all we're dealing with is Cincinnati. Okay, I'm going to come in here pretty tight. Okay, across the top, you're seeing this, the type of approach, the frequencies we could encounter. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Again, up here it says RNAV GPS 3 right. I wanted to say 32 because that's our runways here. So our heading inbound will be 25. 025. And I am keeping an eye on the gauge, folks, right there. Making sure we stay on course, stay on altitude. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Wonan. Wonan is right here by an 1,184-foot tower. This is the Kentucky side. This is the Ohio River. That is what I thought. Okay. It's an LNAV. So the MDH, we can't set that on here, folks. But we're going to go with a 1280. So at 1280 on our altimeter, we go around. If we're not on the glide or at that altitude at Wonan. Airfield itself is 483 feet above sea level, or yeah, 483. So that altitude, folks, is 800 feet. So that's a pretty good low altitude. Real quick, I need to do a quick swap here. And since it won't come up, okay, so Lunken. Right now we're a few clouds at 2,400 feet, broken at 7,500, overcast 9,500. So it's a VFR day, folks. Visibilities 5 miles. It's still VFR in light rain. Okay, so we'll keep the anti-ice on. Next up, temps actually close to where we could start seeing fog. 3022. Now, I have just been remiss. Let me do something here on Sky Vector. Huntington is 3020. Oh, we're never mind. We're above that. Got myself thinking I needed to check my altimeters. Grr. Get you a little better view of it. Okay, so that sets us up here. Our missed approach is straight away 2,600 feet to Cooey, and we're there. We would just hold, and it is a teardrop. So we'll come in, left-hand teardrop, enter the hold. Hope we don't have to do that. We actually won't. We'll just come around in the pattern and land. Right-hand pattern for us. Okay. Transition, like all U.S. airports, 18,000. Here is our routing. Okay, we're going to come over the Falmouth VOR. We're going to descend to Loadout. I just wanted to see where it started. Again, no altitudes to Sheila, to Wonan. Now, Wonan we know. We know that to be 2,100 feet. So, just kind of looking this over. Wow. Huh. It's closer than I thought. Okay, so vertically Sheila will be at 2,500, 2,100 at Wonan, descending at about 500 feet a minute. Between we'll call it 600 feet a minute-ish. We'll do the best we can. Descend it down all the way to our missed approach and go. We're expecting Pappies on the right. There's our missed approach. What I'm doing is trying to determine, we're going to be at about 110 on our approach from Wonan in. So to maintain that 3 degrees, it's about a 600 foot a minute descent. So long as we maintain 110 to 120, we push a little higher. So we'll kind of see what we got. Minimums. 1.5 miles. Let's see. Yeah, we're 1.5 miles. Or are we 2.5? Anyway, 1,280, 799 feet above the ground. Okay. So that's the chart, folks. Once we're on the ground, 3 right. Right here's the river, so you can see why it floods a lot. We're going to come off at Delta. And if memory served, right here is where Procter & Gamble parked. I don't remember this one, so that's probably new. We'll go Delta to Alpha, and we'll find a spot along in here somewhere. Or we'll be smarty butts and go into Procter & Gamble. What the heck? So, but anyway, I used to go to here a lot. There had airplane rides. I think that was there, or maybe it was here on this ramp. But anyway, I used to go to this airport a lot. Like I said, a golf course. Playground over in here somewhere. I don't think that's the river, but I don't know what that is. But the river is so close, folks. Like I said, this is the part of the field that flooded out every time I visited my grandparents in the spring. Okay, so let's get our head above the windshield here. Let's do some quick calculating. I'm going to switch us to heading, and oh, we dipped the wing a little. Hang on a second. Let's get back on course. Okay, Falmouth 17. See what happens when we sink. Again, 282. We're 59 miles out. We're getting real close to our descent. I'll go ahead and put us back on nav. I'm going to be right back, folks. I hear something. I just want to make sure I don't have any major problems. My wife is actually at work today. So I don't have her to double check what I'm hearing. So I'll be right back, folks. And then we're going to do some quick calculating and get this bird down. Because it's technically 28 miles from there. That's way too close to come down from 30,000. So stand by. Okay, folks. All right, so we're going to need to do a hold because we got to come down. My apologies. I found out I had to do a chore too. I didn't realize what time it was. So we got that going. So, sync the heading. Okay. What I'm going to basically do is just go left 180. Okay. Same time, I'm going to dial in we're going to dial in 10,000 or 12 miles. Yeah, let's go for 10,000. And we're just going to hold here until go. Altitude select. Set it back to 180. Okay, let's go through the descent. Okay, so the defrost on. Let's get the bleeds on first. I always forget which fan it is. Sorry about that, folks. That one. Okay, foot warmers, I ain't worried about. Airflow's on. Pressurization set. Windshield bleed low max. Okay. Anti-ice, de-ice has required fuel balanced. Descent finished. So we'll get turned around here. Let's make sure we're coming down. Okay. We are not. Boy, we're getting tossed about up here, folks, if you didn't notice. And while we're getting things lined up here, again, X-Hylane, Lindum, Henty Echan, welcome aboard, FTO Payer, Linden, and of course the Big Marcus. Again, welcome. Thank you all for flying with us today. I've got to get us down here in speed. Autopilot's on. And basically what I want to be able to do is come over this VOR around 10,000 feet, maybe even lower, so we can then head to Loadout. Folks, we are only, believe it or not, 28 miles straight line to the airfield. So, little bad piss planning on my part. I'll say it aloud. It's all me. So let's get her coming down. She is coming down steeper now, so pull back on the reins just a tad. I only want to come down at no more than 2,000 feet a minute. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and turn back. We're going to do this a couple of times, folks. Okay, we're just going to kind of ease around. Yeah, as soon as I saw that I had a chore to do getting dinner started for us tonight, oh yeah, I knew I was in trouble with this descent. And we'll just keep kind of bringing it around. We're not going to go over top Fillmore yet. We're 31 miles out. This gives us plenty of time to get down reasonable altitudes to work with on this approach. As we know, the ceilings are right now marginal. Well, I don't know. Would I call that marginal? Few clouds at 2,400 feet? A few doesn't... I don't get some of the... Again, it was 1980s, folks, when I last flew. So I'm still a little not sure. Try something. There we go. Of some of the rules that are out here. So bear with me on that, folks. That's not marginal to me. That's a VFR day. Scattered, I mean, didn't mean anything until a broken layer, which set a ceiling. If it was above 2,500 feet, you could go fly. I don't get these new weather rules, unless maybe it's the Viz. I didn't look at the Viz. No, the Viz is 5 miles, so I don't get it. Oh well. Anyway, it's marginal there. We're coming down at a nice 1,000 foot a minute. Let's take a look at our gauges. Everything looks good here. They're getting a little bit of playtime back there for themselves as well, to talk deals and wheels and deals while we do this hold. And we'll go ahead and see if I can remember where Procter & Gamble was. It was a 2-end in and out. I don't know. It didn't look like it was on the chart. I ought to go look at it on Google real quick. How close are we? 23, and we're going to have to go around one more time. A little tighter on the circle this time. Inbound 102. Okay, we go one more time around 23,000 to the left. Bank limit shallow. That way they can still drink their tea and crumpets. I'm gonna go outbound just on their course to bring us in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this one up here. yeah, we're looking shit over just a tad. Okay. Alright, so we're coming up on transition and we're not even 90 degrees through. Again, folks, this is a nice, gentle turn for the customer back there in this hold. It'll also allow us to drop a lot of altitude. Steepen our descent here a little. I could have kept us at about 200 through the descent and then start slowing us down. That's bad on me. I slowed us to 180 and we're taking our pretty steep down. Okay, we're on approach. Coming up on that, so we'll be going to... let's set 30-20... where is it at? 3021 for Falmouth Airport. Descending at a pretty decent rate here, just about halfway through. Have to really gonna set this up more VFR. Okay, cross feeds look good. Fuel, kick it over. Look, can't tell. Yeah, we look balanced. Go. Down a couple notches. There we go. All right. All right, so we've come back around. We're just at about 18, so we're going to go ahead and set 3021. I know, a little early. Sue me. All right, folks. I'm going to let us get down a little bit further this time. We're going to go out to about the 30-mile point again. Again, looks like coming over Falmouth at around 8,000 feet would be a good deal. We're only talking 25 miles to Wonan via that. We will go into GPS mode to follow. We will not try at all to fly this thing. Okay, there's transition. Altimeter's cross-checked and set. Let's make sure they look even. And they are even. Okay. A little higher. There we go. All right, belts and harnesses are on. Start a little bit of this. Where are we at? Coming up on it. Through here, foot warmers, airflow set, pressurization set, windows, anti-ice, fuel, descent, altimeters, belts, passenger signs. They're going on. Cabins and emergency exits clear. Recognition lights on. Landing data set and posted. Now that's something I could do. Let me try something. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn us now. Okay, that did not help me. Found what I'm looking for, finally. Okay, fortunately, this situation I can't show it, but landing weight's about 11,000. Okay, 11,000 is going to be about a 104. Come in at about 120. So we are going to have to upgrade our approach here slightly to about a 650 foot a minute descent. Okay, our VREF that we're planning is 104. Anti-skid on. Yeah, got the right switch. Pressurization checked, looks good. Avionics are going to be set here momentarily as we begin to come around. A little over halfway through, we'll kind of set it this way. Okay, we're inbound 34 miles out. Approach briefing complete. Passenger advisory set. GPS selector will go to GPS for the flight and we'll turn the autopilot off at the appropriate time. Approach check complete before landing. Okay, we'll come back to you then. Smoogie 3, welcome aboard. Hope you have a great day and hope your Wednesday's going well. Okay, let's utilize the 30 miles here and get on course. Course being 282. All right, folks, we are in the Citation. Sorry, we're kind of in an IFR setup here for now. Let me get us up here so we can see. Oh, we can't see anything. We're in between the clouds. Here's what the plane looks like. Okay, let's go back and get rid of some of this stuff. now. And back outside. Okay, so I hope y'all are enjoying it. We are coming up on Falmouth as soon as we get the needles lined up here. We are VOR right now, but I am about to switch us into GPS because I want to come over at about 7,500 feet. Let me get those up to help us in on our approach. Okay, 7,500 feet is what I want to level off at. Let's go into here. Nav source. We want to go to GPS. We'll just hit up. Nav source. Now we're on GPS. We're going to go nav. It's going to swing us over. We're on nav, we're altitude select, we're coming up on it. It means we're going to have to kick in some power here soon. And I'm going to try and hang at about 200-ish. As we come over Fillmore, which now lies 19 miles ahead of us. One more time, we'll look outside. Okay, 15 miles closing in. Right about where I want speeds to be. Good. And then when we come over Falmouth, we're going to begin our descent to 2,100 feet. Sorry, J-Drums, could not take it. Dude, that is something I don't know how to do, so I wish I did. But we had to come off VOR because we have to do an RNAV into this place. So we're going to let it fly off the GPS mode to get in there. So I hope I was able to give you a little bit on how you can fly VOR to VOR. The charts, it's more of an in-depth. We'll see what we can do. I doubt it's even possible on the flight up in Alaska today, but we'll see what we can pull out here and get you up to snuff on flying VOR to VOR. Like I said, you want to do NDB to NDB, find someone else. This kid is not good at that one. That gauge gets me lost more than it gets me on track. And I know, folks, you're all going to tell me it's the easiest one in there. No, the VOR is actually the easiest. Correction. flying by GPS, that's the easiest one. But if you don't have it, and you're in aircraft like a 172 Warrior Archer Arrow like I was, VOR to VOR is the easiest. Okay, since we're below 10,000 feet, landing lights on. Okay, we got our recognition on. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn the wing lights on for now. We don't need them. We're going to keep the anti-ice on with the precip and all. Just make sure we don't have any troubles with our engines. We're going to go into the... got to really reset that here. 6 miles from Falmouth. According to the charts, I have no altitude restrictions like we show in the FMC, so now it's time to start slowing up. Back just a little. Well, we'll get her slowed to 180. And the 3 miles we have. I'm going to go ahead and dial us down to. Is it again? 2100. All right. All right, there we go, folks. We're making the turn, and I'm going to pull the power back a little more, steepening us up. Okay. Loadout, I'm going to take over. Probably we should, by all accounts, be able to see that runway. 2,400 feet. Yeah, we should be able to see that runway even 5 miles out, which Loadout is... five miles out. So we should, keyword, should, but I'll set us up into a VS approach for it. And I'll be taking over real quick into it. Go ahead. Get us off the easy turn in here. Get on course correctly as quickly as possible. 7 miles. According to the chart. 10 miles, so we should get lined up here for Loadout, then Sheila, Wonan, Sukmi, and right on in. Alright, so okay, we're inbound. Again, temperature, make sure the wing ice is good, 23. We don't need it, just the engines is all we need. Alright folks, you have any suggestions, any comments, any you did that wrong, hey, feel free. I take critiques well. Look at where I work at the airport. You want to make a prediction for the landing? It's exclamation mark predict, the minus sign, and a number. I see Big Marcus is going for it again, so folks, I'm in there too. Come on, let's see how well you do. But next flight, like I said, is the Navajo up in Alaska. That'll be a fun flight. I haven't looked at any weather, though, up there. We'll see if we'll be running with weather or not. Okay. Loadout is 2 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these for the second. I'd like to see what it looks. Whoa, what did I just get myself into? There we go. I don't see JD drums where I need to get a livery for this plane. I like that one. It don't need to say flying with Mike on it. Now, if it was my personal citation, that might be a different story. Little smudge mark right there saying it's mine. But beyond that, that looks great. Okay, we continue down, looking good on our descent profile. Starting to see a little break below us. Again, 9,500 feet was overcast and broken at 75. We're below both of those. I don't like when the weather forecast doesn't look. Now, I see the Ohio River ahead of us, folks. Now you can't see it well from here. Let's see. I believe this is the Ohio River right here. I could be way off, folks. It's a long time since I've lived there. All right, so let's get that back up so we have an easy way to turn the autopilot off. Sheila is 5 miles ahead. We've got a good descent rate here to what we need.
2,500.
Lights are all on, anti-ice. Pitot heat's still good.
2,500.
Okay, let's make sure we don't have any... Okay, we don't...
2,500.
Landing gear, nope, not yet. $2,500 at Sheila. We're gonna be just a little below it, but we'll flatten out for 2,100 feet. And that's a 5-mile run, by the way, to Wonan. Okay, going into our turn here, getting ready to level off at 2,100 feet. And let's go ahead and start setting up our speed for landing. Oh yeah, visibility is crap. Okay, so we're looking for Wonan, folks. That's our next one. As we look on this gauge, Wonan's right there. Keep our TCAS set to that level. Now to bring on the terrain, I should have done that. Okay, ignitions need to go to on. Engine sync needs to go to off. Get all of this before. Pressurization's good, landing lights, flaps as needed, okay. Alright, folks. Wonan, we begin to set our descent
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
Autopilot.
Think rate.
Autopilot.
Up. Think rate.
Believe it or not, I got runway in sight. I'm taking her in. Ain't screwing with that autopilot anymore. Okay, gear down. So you can see, folks, how this airport floods. Flaps are coming down, annunciator, speed brakes retracted.
Think rate.
Okay,
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
okay, 3 green. Another notch of flaps, get some power in.
500.
Part of me wants to say that grass off to the right of the runway was where the golf course was. Remember, 104 is VREF, so we're going to push it just a little harder. And I'm sure this will not look anything like I remember.
300. 200.
Getting a little high. Or sink in if I can.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I think Big Marcus, you're going to win on this one. All right. Other than the crappy setup, not a bad landing. Let's clear the runway. As much as the passengers aren't going to like it, I am coming to a stop. Well, no, we can do this. We're fine. Pitot heat. Oop. Off. Engine ice off. Ignitions to normal. Exterior lights off. Standby gyro off and caged. Transponder as required. Okay, and flaps up. Radar is in standby, which I have no idea if I even have it turned on. Trims reset after landing complete. Now we're at the shutdown. Get to that in a minute. All right, folks, welcome to Sunken Lunken. As I kind of figured, nothing would look like I remembered, which that's okay. You know, 56 years old, folks, things aren't necessarily gonna look like I remember. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go right here. We'll see. Okay, autopilot, FD off, yaw damper off. I'm just going to go straight ahead. What the heck? The heck is over here? No idea what that is, folks. Gonna have to get the old Google map out and take a look. Huh, really, none of this looks familiar, but I don't expect it in default to look like what I know. Let's go ahead and use 725 here. And yes, Big Marcus wins. Landing rate was 172. Yeah, I knew it was. I couldn't believe it. I knew it coming into it as I was about to touch on it. It's going to be a soft landing. Big Marcus, you're the winner again. Lucky dog. Alright, we're going to go around the runway. We'll be nice and not back taxi it. Or forward tunnel, what you would call that. It's not back taxiing now that I think about it. That was runway 3 left, 21 right. Just realized what the way the runway looked. Well, the executives at PNG will be happy once we figure out where their facility is. Because after 40 years, things have changed a little. And we'll just head to that. Let's take a look. We'll just go down to the second turn, third turn off down here. It's first. Then there's one here, which I think is a road. Could be wrong. And then the next one will turn in. Looks like there may be some parking there. Yeah, we'll just go in. Yeah, we'll go in here. Got a feeling something down that way was PNG, but, you know, we're fine. All right, parking brake set. Okay, making sure anti-skid's off. It is not. Ignitions are normal, exterior lights are set. Standby gyro transponder, radar flaps, speed brakes, trims, and alright. Parking brake set. Transponder to standby. Get that here real quick here as soon as I find what I'm looking for. Standby. AC power and avionics master. Let me make sure everything is set. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, and avionics off. Okay. Overhead and defog fans. Let's get the bleeds off. I don't understand the purpose here. I'll have to learn one day. Air conditioning fan off. Okay, throttles to cutoff. Okay, again, folks, same principle. Pull both of them up. And they're both dialing back. That's what we're wanting to see. Exterior lights. They're going to remain on until we're throttled down. Passenger advisory lights off. Yeah, they're fine to move about in their exterior lights, passenger. As soon as we dial down all the way on N2. And we landed with about 1,200 pounds of fuel. While we're waiting, let's take a look at that. Fuel. To make it to the alternate would have been 700. Right on the numbers. Actually, yeah, we're close to 1,300. So yeah, right on the numbers. That's also partly because somebody had to do a hold. Okay, so passenger advisory, exterior lights can go off. Battery switch off. Clock reset shutdown complete. Next. There's our V-speeds and they go away quick. All right, folks, I want to thank you all for flying with Mike. It's been fun. Let's open the door. Get our peeps off the plane. We are about to roll the tape backwards. Just getting a couple things set up here. Bear with me a second and okay. That's off, and unfortunately, let's see if anyone by chance was up here with us. Would love to see that, but I don't remember seeing anyone. Nope, I am the only one. All right, so let's turn that off. I said turn off. Track flight, we'll turn that off as well. All right, and last check, who's all left here to watch the rewind? Let's get the that away, that minimized, that minimized. Actually, we can close it because we're going to reset. Whoops. I think I just screwed up. Hang on a second, folks. Swore I disconnected, but let's find out. Oh, I did. Okay. That's what that warning was. Okay. I had a warning. I think I disconnected it or killed it while I was on. Let's close the door. Put her in rewind mode. Okay, we'll say it the correct way. There we go. Oh, this is the good part. Okay, and let's cue some good music here. What do we want to listen to today? And we'll go with that one. Oh, we're actually, there's the runway. See how we did. Overall, other than that little dive coming here, and I get all the whoops and the, yep, you got it there, Big Marcus. Yep, there we go down, and there I can finally say to heck with it, autopilot off, and it's my plane. Okay, so let's take it from here and watch. The Ohio River, I believe, no, I'm not even going to say it. I think it's 471, but I could be wrong. Real quick, my grandparents would have lived out here somewhere. I think that's where Mount Washington is. This inlet is what would flood and flood out the runway and the golf course and the playground. Yeah, they lived off to the right-hand side, oh, good 5, 10, 15 miles away, maybe 20. Happy customers. Wow. Very nice. Man, I gotta pat myself on the back. Thank you, Lord, for that good landing. All right. Oh, that's it. Otto was flying it. Ah, no. Let's take a look at it again, folks. Out this window and see how this executive liked it.
200. 100. 50.
My kind of landing. Is he on the ground? Is he not on the ground? Man, like it. Like it, like it, like it. Man. Somebody could get a swelled head on a landing like that.
100, 200,
All right,
200.
let's go to the other side.
One hundred. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to just let it roll on in. We're going to take a break. We got to reset the sim. But, folks, thank you for flying with Mike. Those of you that could make this run, we sure appreciate it. Those of you that can stick around for the next, which will be up in Alaska. The game plan there is, hang on, a little town called Sleetmute, which is where we ended up last time with the Navajo, heading over to Juanita. It's about 187 miles, 120 or an hour and 20 minutes-ish flying time. I'm sure we'll get it in faster, but folks, fun flight, fun times. Want to thank you for flying with Mike, and y'all have a, for those of you who can't make it, y'all have a great Wednesday, great hump day. Look forward, folks. The weekend is right ahead of you. God bless. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you on the other side.